Hi, everyone. This is Dr. David Weinthal with Breakthroughs in Wellness. We just want to welcome you back to Hippocrates Health Institute. I'm just finishing up my third week here and had a wonderful experience. And it's been amazing with the staff, with Dr. Clement, with his wife, Anne-Marie. And one of the best features they have here is the psychological help that you can get. Whether you're going through something like cancer or you're just here deep, going through and looking at all of the blockages that you have in your emotional heart or inside of you that are stopping from completely coming through to wellness is one of the chief benefits that I found so embracing here at Hippocrates. And thank you, Anthony, for joining me here today and to give the people a little bit of sense of what it's like to work with people that are going through critical chronic issues, or even coming through that are just coming through detoxing. It's an amazing experience to be able to go through and actually wind back some of the psychological issues that all of us have across the board in coming through to making ourselves into this complete well-being.
Well, first of all, one of the functions I believe what we have is to give hope to people that there is a possibility for healing or improving their health. Because very often when people decide to come here, they have already gone through the conventional medical system. And many of our guests are coming after they have been told, well, there isn't much more that we could do. Either they were told in words or through action, because they did 2 or 3 times several rounds of chemotherapy, radiation, and so on, or like even steroids like prednisone and other things, and none of them work. At least they feel they don't work.
Right.
So that is the time they come to this institute. So we have to rekindle their hope. So a lot of the work that we do is basically to instill that hope.
And hope is such an important part towards healing. I mean, because if you've lost hope, you're not willing to really embrace new change inside of you, or even think that there is a possibility that you can actually get well.
That is right. Because very often people begin to think, well, that is it. Now I need to think of my exit plan.
Right.
Sometimes it is directly, sometimes it's indirectly. And this is where we need to change it around.
And as I'm sure you've worked with many people before, when you have that exit plan, your body, your cells are already making that initiation to make you to continue the disease process. And there is no way to actually turn the cells back to their original biology, which is healing. Our body is creating this healing pattern all of the time. But if we innately are convinced that we are being told that we're dying or that we are exiting, then that's what's going to happen.
It is. It's almost, a prediction they are giving to themselves, which is self-fulfilling prophecy. So we have to get them out of that mode into their living mode and their hoping mode again.
Absolutely.
So one of the things that we do to do that is to identify their sources of stress. Because the many stressors at once coming to them, they feel, I'm done. So we have to pick one by one and say, well, this has this solution, or this you can respond differently. So each time one objection or one blockage is brought up, we have to begin to show them, no, there is another possibility, which may be a better response to this. So that is when they begin to think in a different way and start making progress.
So I know that you do a lot of work individually, and one of the chief benefits, and I know you've given many of the talks, and some of the talks are amazing, that you've done on stress and and learning about the stress and health and talking about the studies that are happening. And I know that wakes people up inside once they hear those talks. But another thing that that they have here is the healing circle, where people come and they're able to tell about the aha moments, those things that have created the turnaround in their heart, in their mind, during their wellness care here. And people have had tremendous breakthroughs with that.
It is true, because here we are helping each other. The facilitator, Andy Werner Roman, he's very good. But in addition to that, each of the guests are taking their, power to help others to heal. So it is a mutual help. That's why it is a support group.
Right.
And it is working very well because people become open-minded once they start in that mode.
I like to talk about this whole entire institute as like a ship healing. And when you come here, you're on the ship, you're traveling with everyone that's going through the same process. Then you may not be having the same issues, but we all are here experiencing healing. We're starting at point A, where we are living our lives back at home, and we may not be eating as well, we may not be thinking as well, we may not be performing as well. And when we come here, we get into this mode, this healing mode. The diet is healing, the mind is healing, all of the therapies that they have here is healing. And you start to travel together, and the people are very, what I have found is that people here are very open, because everyone here is traveling with something. So they're more willing to talk about it to total strangers than they would their family, their friends, and they would keep things bottled up inside. And they don't get to actually transition through the healing process as well as if they were just doing it at home with conventional therapies.
Yeah, I agree with you. The one thing I want to point out is, the Hippocrates healing principle is that your body is equipped with all the necessary energy to heal itself. All what we need to do is to give the right ingredients. So the food that they eat here, the drinks that they take, the fresh air with a lot of oxygen that they breathe in, all these are the preliminary steps. But then there are other elements where it is not only allowing your body to heal itself, but other people are exerting positive energy on you. So people do benefit by simple contact, like you mentioned, because first of all, they are open. They are more open than in their family background very often.
Yeah.
Plus, each one, I usually tell the guests when I do some of the lectures, you are the healer. You are healing not only you are healing your neighbor. So you are doing double function here. So definitely, a lot of the energies that are here are coming from other guests, which is the spiritual aspect of this program.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
People feel connected to each other. They feel connected to the world around them, and then to that unseen higher power. All these are part of the whole.
Absolutely. I just want to say thank you so much for joining me. And I thank you for so much for working with me personally on issues that I'm going through in my own healing process. What do you have? Do you have anything else to say as far as healing in the Hippocrates way?
Well, one of the functions that we have, which we didn't mention, is to remove the blocks to healing. So, for example, a lot of times people have issues in their relationships. So that blockage in the relationship stay as a hurdle to healing. So part of what we try to do is to help them to open that up. Then, of course, when I use modalities like EMDR, the eye movement desensitization and reprocessing, or when I use NLP, neuro-linguistic programming, to help them to distance themselves from the problems, we are trying to remove the blockages. And people do well when they get a little help from outside. Because along with what they do here, which is detoxification, they're also detoxifying their mind and spirit. And I also need to mention there are some people who would carry a lot of guilt from the past, whether from a religious point of view or from a personal judgment. In both cases, we try to help them to dump them so that they don't have to carry that burden. So it is another step towards healing.
Absolutely. And I think that the treatment that you gave me with the distancing and seeing the relationship from a different perspective, it was amazing. I'm still working with my fingers and remembering the different memories that you brought me through. It was such a powerful treatment for me, and I'm still working with it. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Well, everyone, thank you so much for our conversations here at Hippocrates, and we look forward to hearing from you soon. If you have any comments, please post them below this video. And thank you so much, and have a beautiful and blessed day. Thank you, Anthony.
Thank
I
you,
appreciate
David.
everything.
Thank
You're the
you.
best.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.